Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Wednesday, June 2nd, and it's 24 hours after I thought I recorded a little CarCast. And after talking to myself for 20 minutes, I looked down and, it wasn't recording. So we're giving this another quick little try. Not a ton of Big Brother news to report. Actually, yesterday I specifically said I had absolutely nothing to report. And today I really don't have anything other than the Us Weekly article that just came out last night talking about Mike Boogie getting a felony, I think a conviction, for stalking Dr. Will Kirby. That was all stuff that we've talked about in the past that had gone on. Mike Boogie's a bit unhinged in my personal opinion, and caused some grief for Will Kirby and stuff. Part of it came from the fact that, at least it was said, that Boogie wanted Will to go on a reality show with him, and Will didn't want to do it, and Boogie was mad. And some people speculate that it's because Mike Boogie needs the money because he's had some financial woes in the past, and yada yada yada. And Mike got very upset and appeared to make some threats. You like how I'm dodging all these words to keep from saying too much terrible? I mean, this is all, I think he pled no contest to a lot of these charges and stuff, so look it up for yourself. Us Weekly, I tweeted the link if you want to read the article. But whatever. It is what it is. We've known about this for a while. And so, yeah. All right, let's talk about other stuff, which the rest of this will be non-Big Brother talk. Not even any Big Brother Australia, even though I've now watched the first two of, I think there's 3 episodes this week. I literally just saw that today's episode dropped into my inbox. Thank you to my friend who makes them available to me so that it's easier for me to get them. And I've told everybody else how to watch them if you want to. The best resource that I've come up with this time around. Previous podcasts have mentioned that, or CarCasts, and it was videobrother.net is the place to go. I don't usually recommend it because you get some pop-ups and stuff when you try to watch stuff on that site, but it does work, and I've even used it on a couple of occasions when other sources when it hadn't appeared yet and I wanted to try to watch it. So listen to previous podcasts like the last one before this, I think, if you want detailed instructions. I'm not going to go through it again. But I'm not going to talk about Big Brother Australia either. We'll watch today's episode and maybe I'll talk about it in another day or two when we figure out what's going on with this week. And I do have thoughts. But I did want to talk about people that support me and what is going on as far as this CarCast. On Memorial Day weekend, this past weekend, I got an email from Spreaker. Spreaker is the company that I pay for my, quote, hosting for my podcast. I record this using an app they provide, then I upload it to my personal site on Spreaker, Spreaker, and from there it gets distributed out to all the different services, which is where you're listening to it now, unless you're using Spreaker to listen to it, which some people do. They sent me an offer for 50% off the next tier of hosting, which I was paying about $7 a month for their hosting services, which gave me a maximum of a 45-minute episode that I could record and 100 hours that it would be stored, which seems like a lot until you've been doing this for several years, like me. And once you filled up that 100 hours, you basically had to delete shows in order to make room. And I'm a pack rat and didn't want to delete them, so I was downloading them, saving them. No one will ever listen to, but I'm just doing it because it's like I spent my time recording these, and then recording new. And I was kind of, I was basically deleting like CarCast from Big Brother Over the Top that I'd recorded to record new ones currently. And I got this offer from Spreaker for 50% off, which means I could get their next level for it's $10 a month instead of $20. So for basically $103, I think is what I paid, I get the next level, which allows me to have up to 500 hours. So I'm good for quite a while now before I have to start cleaning stuff up. Or as long as I keep paying, of course, which I probably won't after a year. That's the only problem with this, is that I'm not going to double that. I'm not going to pay $200 a year for this service unless I have some amazingly exponential growth in my support that I get for my show. I'm not going to pay $200 a year. But I can also record up to 3 hours, which I'm also not going to do. I'm usually good for 25 minutes is my max. I don't think I'll ever reach that limit. The last thing that it gave me, though, that the last plan doesn't give me, was it gave me some additional statistics, specifically geographical statistics, about who's listening where and how they're listening. And this is you guys. So I found it interesting looking at the stats on Monday that about 90% of you listen through Apple, iTunes. And then there's lots of different other options as well. Stitcher was the next highest, I think. And then after that, it just really thins out. Oh, these statistics were for the last month. So they give about 30 days worth of statistics. I think it's a rolling number. And at the time on Monday when I looked, like 1,400, there had been 1,400 downloads over the last month. So these numbers are based on that. And of course, it's not really prime Big Brother season, so I'll be interested to see how those stats change once Big Brother kicks off. The other thing is that like over 90% of the listeners were United States listeners, with only, I don't know, a very small percentage being Canadian, which kind of surprised me. I expected a little bit higher number there. But again, it may be the Big Brother, the lack of actual Big Brother content going on right now. And then various other countries, which I'm going to print out that list and look at it. I find that really interesting to see these, people, a few people in the UK, some in Australia, and then just all kinds of other places that I'm like, oh, wow, someone in, I can't even tell you now. Let's say Iceland, but I don't know if Iceland was one of them, has listened. That's kind of cool. And I want to give those people shout-outs in case they happen to listen to this particular episode or the one I did the shout-out on. So that's the stuff I found out that I found interesting and I want to share with you guys. I like to share this my experience of just recording this stuff, because I'm guessing that someone out there is listening to this going like, how can I do that? How can I do what Mike does? And I'm not a big name or anything, but I'm just a regular guy who just started doing this stuff, and I've managed to make it at least not a negative drain on my income. I'm not making money. I'd say I'm close to breaking even in the end with my CarCasts and my websites. I just got my bill from GoDaddy for my websites, so that's another over $100 for the hosting. And I realize I could go with slightly less expensive options on some of these things, but there is also the ease of use, and sadly GoDaddy makes things really easy. I switched to GoDaddy years and years ago. I was using a different provider and paying about the same amount at the time. I'm going to guess that if I wanted to take the time to move everything and adjust everything, I could pay much less for my hosting. But I also do own several domain names, but that wasn't included in the bill that I just got from GoDaddy. That was simply to host the websites that I use, which really is not that many. I think there's about, how many websites do they actually host? It may only be one website. No, there's a couple of WordPress instances. I'm not going to name the names right now, but yeah. All right, I've definitely wandered into the rambling to myself all over the place, and I should let you guys go and get back to your day. It is kind of cool and rainy here in Indiana today. What is the temperature? Probably in the 60s. Yep, 64 degrees and kind of sprinkles. like a little bit warmer weather, but I'm not going to complain because it's not super cold. But what else? Oh, I don't know. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you to my patrons. I still have a few. I have 10 patrons currently. I want to thank you guys specifically. I need to give you all a shout out very shortly by name, which is something I try to do every once in a while. They have continued to give me a little monthly support, which again helps offset all these other costs that I've talked about, and keeps my wife not completely annoyed with me. What else? Oh, you know what? Here's a random thing. One other random thing. I am going on vacation next month during premiere week. I'll be in Vegas celebrating my anniversary with my wife. Matter of fact, I will be busy the day of the premiere. We're going to have to see how that works out. Hopefully, the way it'll work out, I'll be back at my hotel when the show premieres. But you know what? I did this 3 years ago. I was in Tennessee or Kentucky the night of the premiere, the first show, and watched it in my hotel room. The difference is that the feeds didn't start, I think, for a couple of days after. And if they go like we think they're going to go, the feeds are going to kick off the day of their premiere. So I'm going to be doing various things that first week. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. All right, that's it. I'm done talking. Again, if you guys have any random questions, want to know what's going on, or things that you would like me to talk about, by all means, you can tweet at me at BBGOSSIP, or you can email me at ilovereality@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to answer your questions and give you a shout out or whatever. On the off chance that one of you, new people or people that haven't done it before, want to support me via Patreon, you are more than welcome to. You can send me, whatever. You can say $1 a month. My Patreon charges per month, not per episode. It is simply a per month thing for me. And you, even though the numbers I think are $5, $10, or maybe $15 or something, I don't remember what the levels are, but you can always give whatever amount you want. I think a minimum is $1. You just have to say, I want to give $1 a month, and that's all you have to do. If you want to do that, you can find me on Patreon. It is the BB Gossip, not Big Brother Gossip Show. That's the podcast with Scott and Colette. But BB Gossip is me individually. So if you're interested, check it out. Would be appreciated, but nobody needs to do that if you don't want to. That's just kind of a little thing I set up a few years ago. All right, folks, pulling into the parking garage. Another day of work. We still are not back to normal here. Still have only the few people that we've had. The last time we added somebody to our work group was January, although I'm anticipating we're going to add more people very soon and get back closer to a full force at work as the summer progresses. And with that, I am signing off. See you later. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.